So we are on the section number 2 of presenting research findings, and we talked about uh, how we can approach the journals and what is actually the way of presenting our statistics or communicating our statistics of our research. And that moves on to our next section, which is abstract, because research articles have a main body and an abstract. So we are going to start off with the abstract. So all of us want to get our articles published, and for that write we need to be able to write a good abstract. So we are going to focus on the what are the components of the abstract, what is a good quality abstract and what is a poor quality abstract. We're also going to talk about the key points for presenting statistics in abstracts, and we're also going to talk about structured and non-structured abstracts. So abstracts appear to be very easy to write since they are very short documents, sometimes 150, sometimes 250 to 350 words. So they are very short and small, and it seems that it is very easy to write them. So they are limited to 150, 250, or sometimes in some journals 500 words. So looking at this word count, a person may think it's very easy, but this word count is also the fact that makes it so difficult to write. It's like you have to put all of the information of your research into 150, 250, 350 words. Now that is a very difficult task if you ask me. So usually abstract is written in a structured format, but sometimes some journals also require non-structured abstract overall, or sometimes they require non-structured abstract for some specific type of manuscripts. So generally abstracts are poorly written, too bland, they contain a lot of inaccuracies, and they are simply misleading based on the fact that it's very small and we think it would be very easy to write, but the reality is actually contrary to the popular belief. So what are the reasons for poor quality abstracts? So because they are written at the end of the manuscript, they are actually appearing at the start of the manuscript, but they are written after the whole manuscript has been written. So they are written at the end, and that writing of manuscript is a very long process. So when it comes to abstract, the researchers have a very short time and they are very weary of working on that research and doing a lot of work. So that actually shows and reflects in the deterioration of the quality of the abstract. So as I already said. So overemphasis of post-hoc analysis or subgroup analysis. As I already mentioned in the previous section, sometimes post-hoc analysis turn out to be very interesting and we want to overemphasize that, and that is not good when you are writing an abstract, because your main result should be the main thing which is in the spotlight. And overemphasis of post-hoc analysis leads to an abstract that is not a fair representation of the research conducted and not a fair representation of the aim of the study. Summarizing a longer report or paper. So as I already mentioned, that constraint of words actually make it difficult to put in all that information into the abstract. So it is important to be consistent with the body of the text, and it gives a balanced summary of the work. Now, subgroup analysis reported as primary analysis. As I already mentioned, sometimes subgroup analysis is so interesting that the researcher even forgets to mention the main results, or the researcher presents the subgroup analysis as the primary analysis. Now that is also one way to make a poor abstract, so don't do that. So if you present subgroup analysis as the main analysis, as the main results, then the abstract is going to be misleading, especially if the primary analysis is not reported. And sometimes researchers get carried away with this post-hoc analysis and they end up treating it as the main result. Now, why a poor quality abstract can be very dangerous for your manuscript? Because good quality abstracts are very important. Why are they important? Because in the modern day, there is a lot of information and readers only have a limited time to read those manuscripts, and for that they only read the abstract because of two things: either they are short of time because abstracts are smaller than the whole manuscript, or secondly because they are filtering a large body of research for relevancy to their study and they cannot read every single manuscript completely, so they just read the abstract. And if the abstract is poorly written, then obviously they are not going to be interested in that research or that article, and they are not going to read it, they are not going to cite it, and then your research does not get the following that it should have gotten. So many journals provide only abstracts free of charge online. So open access journals do provide full manuscripts, but closed access journals, they do not do so. So they only provide abstracts for free, and so researchers only buy the manuscripts which they think is relevant and of good quality. So they judge that by reading the abstract. So if your abstract is good, there's a greater chance that people would download and buy your article and cite your article. Critical, it is very critical that abstracts are well written, accurate, and unbiased. So well written and accurate, that's one thing, but they should also be unbiased. They should not favor your what you want to reflect. They should report what is actually there. And they should also include estimates and confidence intervals for the main findings and not simply the p-values. But sometimes it becomes very difficult to present those estimates and averages because of the word count. So in a lot of times you would see that there would be only p-values in the abstracts. So what are the key points for presenting the statistics in abstracts? Report numbers of subjects and location of study where applicable. So for example, I am conducting a study in hospital A and I have let's suppose included 50 patients. So 50 patients with chronic low back pain were included in the study, and you'll also mention that the study was conducted in hospital A. So this information needs to be there in your abstract. What other information should be there? Don't give p-values, other some descriptive data as well, but sometimes it is not possible because sometimes you have a lot of outcome measurement tools and you cannot give the averages of all of them. So give the average of the primary outcome measurement tool, and if it is not the case, then you can go for the p-values only. Give main outcome with estimates whether findings are statistically significant or not. As I already mentioned in the previous section, even if your findings are statistically significant or not, even if the findings are neutral, or even if your experimental group is showing results not in favor of it, you should always mention the main outcomes. Data presented in the abstract must be consistent with the body of the text. So it should be a reflection, a summary and a reflective summary, in fact, of the manuscript, and it should not be something away from it. So key points for presenting the statistics in the abstract: don't report unplanned subgroup analysis, and don't get carried away with post-hoc analysis, which is not needed. Report conclusion consistent with the data presented. So you should only make a conclusion which was actually in consistence with the data presented and the aims of the study. Avoid bland conclusions stated without the study being carried out, like something which you can even say without doing a research on it. For example, there may be a relationship between. So even if you didn't conduct a research, you can say there may be. So always be specific. For example, if you found out that there is a relationship between the two things, then state that there is a relationship between low back pain and body mass index. So simple as that. Be careful when making speculative statements in the abstract. Just mention what you have found. No need to be speculative. If the results give rise to new hypothesis, state this clearly in your abstract as well. That is also an important thing or important information that you need to share. Now, here is an example of a structured abstract. Okay. Now, here is an it is a research article which was conducted and published by me in the Annals of Allied Health Sciences. So here you can see that you have a specific structure. You have an aim or objective, you have methods, you have results, you have conclusion, and you have keywords. So it is structured. So this is known as a structured abstract, and mostly you will see these type of abstracts. So here, but on the other hand, you can see that only p-values have been reported and averages are not there, because there were a lot of outcome measurement tools and there was not enough word count to mention all of those things. But you can see that the number of participants have been mentioned, the place where the study was conducted has been mentioned, and the main outcome measurement tools have been mentioned, and the main statistical tests have been mentioned. No post hoc analysis have been mentioned. Conclusion is simple and clear and easy to understand, such as exercise breaks provide better production than supplemental rest breaks and decreasing musculoskeletal discomfort. So clear, there is no maybe in the conclusion. Now, here's another example, and in this article, which is also conducted and published by me recently in 2018 in Journal of Pakistan Medical Association, you can see that this abstract is not similar to this one. This does not have those headings, and it is very smaller in size. So these are known as non-structured abstracts, and it is almost around 150 words maybe, or something like that. And this article is also different. This is an original article, and this is also a research, but it is published as a short report because of a small sample size. So here also you can see that main things have been mentioned. The number of participants have been mentioned. The location where the study was conducted has been mentioned. Now, once again, only p-values have been mentioned here, because in only 150 words you cannot share the averages of numerous outcome measurement tools. And the conclusion is also there. So ideal posture to be adopted during computer use is supported sitting on chair with computer and desk. So clear and relating to the topic or the aim of the study. So that was all about section number 2 of this topic. I hope you learned something new out of it. So keep on watching sqadia.com for more lectures like this. Thank you.